Alrighty, moving on to the second page of Black Widow. Back on the East Coast again, Black Widow finally became a full member of the Avengers team and its leader. However, her reign came at a traumatic time for the heroes when several of her teammates were apparently killed by the powerful being Onslaught. With Earth's mightiest heroes forced to disband, Black Widow went on a solo mission of revenge against all of the villains they had ever fought. Later, she encountered another Black Widow, Yelena Belova, intent on destroying Natasha for her defection. Remembering her own early years, Natasha tried to help her young counterpart to see another way forward and break her programming. Returning to Russia on a mission, Natasha learned the truth of her upbringing, that she had been lied to and manipulated to such an extent that she could never be sure which of her memories were real and which were planted by her handlers. Her trauma caused her to use brutal methods in pursuit of her aims, and back in her adopted country, Black Widow found herself a wanted criminal. She later rehabilitated her reputation by siding with Iron Man's pro-registration faction in the first superhero Civil War. With Captain America apparently assassinated, Natasha and Iron Man reached out to Winter Soldier to take over the iconic shield as the new Cap. Natasha and Bucky had a long history, having met in the training facilities of the Soviet Secret Services and even having a clandestine relationship before the authorities split them up. In the aftermath of the Civil War, Natasha disguised herself as Yelena in order to infiltrate Norman Osborn's Thunderbolts team and report back to Nick Fury, her former ally at S.H.I.E.L.D. Following Osborn's downfall, she joined the Secret Avengers. When Natasha heard of the death of her former guardian, Ivan Petrovich, she was grief-stricken. The truth was even more sinister. However, Ivan had gone insane as a result of a serum he had taken long ago and had arranged to have his brain and spinal column transferred to a robot body. After Black Widow had defeated this android, the last traces of those who controlled her past seemed to have gone, and she was really free to choose her own life. She went freelance one more and tried to balance the red in her ledger by helping those who could not help themselves. She later led the resistance against an evil version of Captain America and was killed fighting him. Black Widow returned in the form of a Red Room clone, implanted with all the original's personalities and memories. She was kidnapped by a group of her most implacable adversaries and taken off the board by being implanted with false memories, making her believe she was an architect living in San Francisco with a fiancé, James, and a young son, Stevie. However, when thugs broke into her home, her muscle memory kicked in and she dealt with them with brutal efficiency. Piecing together the truth about her life, she had the Winter Soldier fake James and Stevie's death for their own safety and had them removed to a new location that even she did not know. Trying to recover from this cruel heartbreak, Natasha embarked on a new venture in San Francisco with Yelena Belova, now calling herself the White Widow. The two super spies teamed up with allies old and new to take down Apogee, center of a twisted plot to sell superpowered humans for vast sums to the ultra-rich and ultra-unscrupulous. With the threat averted, Black Widow took a moment to appreciate the old friends that would always be there for her, even while she still mourned the death of her fleeting happiness with James and Stevie. Alright, so Black Widow definitely has one of the more traumatizing stories, I must say. She has definitely been through a lot. With that being said, like I said in the previous page before this, it has definitely got to be a 5 out of 5. She actually has one of the more interesting stories. I think she might have the most interesting story that I've actually read in the entire book so far. Actually, I can't even really say that she's lame. I just don't know how I would rank her against all of the other superheroes like in Marvel, especially in the MCU. I gotta show some respect for her, so let me know what you guys think about Black Widow.